What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the deck profile here on the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about something very, very special. I am talking about my girlfriend, Rebecca's buoy list. This is a list that she took to a local qualifier, two local qualifiers, in fact, going over the course of the 8 rounds that we played on the day. She went X3, so 5 wins, 2 losses. Two of her losses were against Chris Smith. One of her losses was against me, who ended up winning both of the LQs. But the list is very cool. The list is very fun, and so I'm gonna do a profile on 99.9% her list. We did make I made a couple of changes, and I played it at Webcam Wednesday this week because it was fun. It was a fun looking list. So let's talk about Buoy. 6 hand size, 36 health character. It says, enhance once per turn, your turn. Destroy a face-up and readied foundation in order to build the top 2 foundations of your deck. Combining that with form commit, your attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each of your face downs, means that this character, while a 5 hand size character, makes 1 attack absolutely incredible. Builds pretty quick, utilizing your face-up foundations that you don't necessarily need or care about in order to give big stats on moves later. And so, with that said, this character has gotten a lot of power, a lot of strength, based on the idea of the blitz mechanic coming out, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. And so, first off, let's talk about some utility. I'm playing double Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken because this deck is very susceptible to singular assets like Cape of No Return. My rival puts down a cape. If I don't have a Kraken, it says that when I form with Buoy, give my +X/+X. They just remove it from the game, and then I wasted my once per game. Because essentially, sorry, not once per game. It's normally like 2, maybe 3 times per game. If I lose that leverage of, my move gets +6 speed, +6 damage, I might not win. And so having something like a Kraken to commit down the cape and then go for it is very good. Even if you Buoy on the Kraken, right? I'll Buoy, I'll give this thing +6/+6, sometimes like +9/+9, and then commit the thing. And this is it's a 13 high for 15 catch. Feels very good. It also shuts down key resets. Like if my opponent has a way to reset speed or damage, it can shut it down. So it's just board control. From here, I want to talk about the value pieces. For draw power, we've got 4 battle or release. Flip, draw a card, it gets damage equal to the face downs. Feels very good with Buoy's bonus. This guy forces my opponent's forces my foundations face down to get a ton of stuff to play as many cards as I possibly can. Feels good. Up next, a way for us to burst our foundation count. 4 Colossus SWAT probably could have been a 3 of. I actually kind of wish that I had a 3rd Kraken in its spot instead. But 4 Colossus SWAT says, bullets after I play this, I get to just build the top 2 cards of my deck. 9 times out of 10, this is the opener that I want. So I want to play the opener, slam 2 more face downs, and then form with Buoy, play something afterwards so that I get the bonus from the Colossus SWAT. It's also my only momentum out, and so it's a 5 low for 5 with powerful 4. It says, it says a powerful 4. Double checking, yes. I couldn't remember if it was 4 or 3. My moves get very, very big. I can make this one big even without the use of Buoy. Up next, and my last kind of value card is just 4 Jawjammer. I'm creating all of these face downs, so destroying one of them for the +4 damage says that this is a guaranteed 4 damage throw. Not necessarily the kill condition that I'm looking for, but sometimes if you use Buoy, give this thing +6/+6, then destroy an extra one. Hey, this is a 14 damage throw. If you're at 7, this card just says checkmate pretty early. Up next, into the reason this character has gotten such a recursion, and the reason that she wanted to play this deck, and it is Attack Titan's Wide Swinging Blow. So this card says, Blitz, you may flip a foundation. This deck gets 1 speed and 1 damage for each of your ready face down foundations. And so it's very easy for you to Buoy, give your things +5/+5, then flip 1 for Attack Titan's Wide Swinging Blow to give an additional 5 damage if you've got a bunch of ready face downs. So this one is very, very good, especially with an action that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. It gets very, very big for very, very fast. And then the last main card that we are playing, attack-wise, is Irwin's Final Charge. Undeniably the best card in the deck, but it really is a Final Charge as it is an all-in style idea. When I use Buoy, I play it, And then from there, so my moves will get +6/+6. I then destroy my board for every single foundation gets pumped into the damage. And then as long as I destroyed 5 of them, which I definitely will because I built so much with Bowie, it gets a bunch of speed. So I like plan attack, Irwin's Final Charge, spend my entire stage, and then try and kill you that way. This card is an incredible piece. I want to play 4 of it just because this is the main way that you win the game, but it is very susceptible to resets if you or from hand action hate, things like runaway, things like jury, just to kind of eat this card alive. And so that's it for the attack count. Again, it is all kind of trying to culminate into one of these 7 cards on a Bowie activation, and these are kind of just like trying to help you along. From here, we can move on to the actions and assets. We are playing 2 copies of Spaceland, the funniest card in the deck. So the line of play here is we have an Attack Titan's wide swinging blow. We use Bowie to give it the +10/+10, we'll say. So now it's a 5 for 13. We then take and we flip a foundation in our stage in order to activate its blitz ability, giving it an extra 10/11 damage. And then our first enhance is we play Welcome to Spaceland and say this one is unblockable. And so it gets the bonus from Bowie, it gets the bonus from itself, and now catch. This time, this card sometimes just like swings in for 25-30 damage, kind of for free, because of the interaction with Bowie's form, Attack Titan swings, blitz, and then this being a first enhance. It's very, very funny. Up next, we've got Double Chomp. This card's main idea is to be a okay breaker block, as well as form selectively destroy something that could be pesky. Do you have a reset? Do you have some way to draw cards or have an answer? I'll just chomp, say no, form, and then we're off to the races. And then the last action that we're playing is just double referee jury. This card says I get to leverage my 36 health a little bit longer. Hey, you made this 10 damage move. Well, now it's not 10 damage move. It's very good if you're ever in the mirror match to fight the Irwin's Final Charges. This card is just a decent piece of water protection. Lastly, I've got 2 assets. One is Team Dr. Ichigaki. This is just a protection card. If we're running a sideboard here, we'd definitely be playing more of this. Honestly, we could probably get away with like mainboarding 2, if not 3, because the only way to really lose against this little tactic is my opponent has some sort of on-board answer, or a reset of some kind, a jury, a runaway, or something, and Dr. Ichigaki negates that. And then our last assets, very cute, very cool card, the Military Police Brigade. Form, commit, flip 2 foundations, gain 3 health. Your character has the Military Police trait. We don't, you redraw a card. So this is just an enabler to try and get your Bowie activation online a little bit faster. So I took a turn off because of that classic 5 hand size syndrome. I can take it, I can form, flip my 2 foundations, use Bowie's enhance, and on the next attack, I flipped 2 from here, I built 2 from here. This one's gonna get 4/4 now minimum, which does not feel that bad. Probably doesn't need to be in here, but I think it's very cute. It also, I mean, it randomly gains you health, and so like if you have one of these out, you're not a 36 health character, you're a 39 health character, which, you know, it's just tough to chew through. From there, we're on to foundations. When I go through my foundations, I normally go aggro, defense, flow, disruption, but I actually want to talk about flow foundations first. And we're going to start with Enormous Axe. This is one of the other big changes that I made from this deck. Rebby was playing 3 Welcome to Spacelands. I dropped it down to a 2 of, and I put in an extra Enormous Axe. This card says, after it's destroyed, hopefully using Bowie's effect, you build the top 2 cards of your deck in face down. And so it replaces the foundation that you lost, right, with a face down, and then you build into with Bowie to really let you boost very fast. And then if you have extra Enormous Axes, you commit them for plus bonus stats. This card is very strong. And then next, we've got 4 Weapons Clash. This one says flip, commit, build the top card of your deck face down and committed. Face down, face down. This is now +2. Feels very good. It also has a little bit of damage reduction, which is like you wear that 36 health and stretch it out as far as you can. And then our last big foundation builder is just going to be Titanic Combat, a card that I think pushes this deck a little bit, moves the needle a bit. Response commit after you take damage from an unblocked attack, build the top card of your deck. So on turn 1, you like build these 3 foundations. On your rival's attacking turn, you flip and you build 1. You take an attack, you build another 2. I mean, I built 3 and I now have 6. This is an incredible way to like really keep up your tempo when it comes to playing your 5-hand size character that really cares about having a very large stage. Up next, we have some flip cards in the form of weightless. If you look at our difficulty curve, we're not actually playing very many 4 diffs, and so having a way to re-ready foundations, even with things like Colossus SWAT, being able to play multiple copies of Attack Titan's Wide Swinging Blow, being able to re-ready foundations with things like weightless can go a very far way, as well as it itself can just be a face down foundation to use with buoy. And so it's just a little bit of a flow piece in case we check kind of bad. I didn't feel like I necessarily needed it though. It wasn't needed. And then from here, the last kind of flow card we had is Triple Risky Gamble. Very cool outwit card. So whenever you build them off the top with buoy, they go face down. This says whenever my rival draws a card, I can unflip and then commit it to also draw, meaning that I'm not a 5-hand size character. And then it gives me more targets to flip and redraw with Battle Aura, or this is a perfect target after I built it in with buoy. I then outwit and then I'd redraw, and then when it gets back to my turn, well, now I have a face-up foundation that I can destroy and then build another 2 cards face down. So the card's very interesting. It also has a pretty decent deadlock ability of deadlock flip, destroy a rival foundation, which, like, hey, I've reset its own ability. So I think the card is very neat. It probably could cut down to a 2-of, but it's a 1/5 2 mid block with a deadlock ability. It's not bad at all. Up next, the neatest card to accidentally put in your stage. We're playing the 1 Titan Injection. This card's neat. If we have a throw, so we can get the momentum pretty easy, pretty quick. If we accidentally build it down with buoy, it's for sure like just a trap card that we play. I get hit for lethal and I go, no, I didn't, which feels kind of cool. So that was the first part of our defense. Let's move on to some speed stuff. For Fast Friendship, flip, -2 speed. If I have more face downs than you, I probably will. It gets -3 instead. This card's decent. It probably could exist at like a 3-of, and we have one card for a flex spot, but I'm not 100% positive what that flex spot could be. Maybe depending on like what your locals look like or what the actual events look like, it could change a bit. From here, we've got 4 Ice Gliding, Enhance Commit. You normally only get like 1, maybe 2 blocks off with this character, and so like having Fast Friendship and Ice Gliding working together to draw and to block is probably all the defense that you really need. And it's also like a pretty decent tactic to take and utilize with Battle Aura. So I can Battle Aura, commit the Ice Gliding for +1, flip the Ice Gliding with Battle Aura to redraw, and then this still counts as a face down foundation for whenever I use buoy afterwards. But I will say that buoy is looking to destroy ready face up foundations, and so whenever you use this thing offensively, you don't get to commit it, get your stats, buoy, and then rebuild. Sad, but you know, it's just balancing, you know. From here, we've got 4 copies of Surviving the Final. This is all about just this is a beautiful card to destroy with buoy. It's a 0 diff in your 5-hander. Like the goal here is to build 5 on turn 1, so giving yourself the highest opportunity to do that like really makes sense. Up next, we've got Double Struggling with Study. This card says if I block, I get to then rebuy back a block, and /or it stops my rival from being able to flip over important foundations, such as Enormous Axe or Weapons Clash or Titanic Combat. All 3 of these are very good pieces to protect with struggling, or even better, I'm a 5-hander, I get to flip and then rebuy back a block. And then the last card that we're playing in the deck is just 4 copies of Syndicate target. This is the best thing to build because my character has a very good use to destroy and then build the top 2 and slash or utilizing the battle auras to flip and redraw. This is just the best target because while it's on the board, it doesn't have any abilities. It's also a 0. It's also a 6. It's also a 0 low block. This character says that all of your blank foundations actually have a use, actually have a purpose while they are on the stage. And there it is. There is Rebby's buoy list that I piloted personally very poorly. She did way, way better with this list than I did. The list is very, very cool. I highly implore you to go pick up the list. Make it, have fun with it. It is, if you like big numbers and big attacks, and if you want to play one of the funniest interactions in the entire game with Welcome to Spaceland Buoy, you should. You absolutely should. With that said, thank you much for watching today's video. Make sure you go check out the matches that I played over on Webcam Wednesday and sign up for Webcam Wednesday. You can find links to that all inside of my own personal Discord, which you can find a link to that inside of the description of this video. With that said, you guys, thank you much for watching today's video. As always, I wish you well.